Hey everybody, it's Adam Ringler here, and real quick, before we get into the questions, welcome back to the Former Athlete Society Q&A call. And if you're with me here live, thanks for showing up. And if you're just watching the replay, thanks for carving out some time in your day. Now listen, I love these sessions. I love them because they let us keep talking about the things that actually really matter, especially when you're a high-performing human outside of the roster list. Things like recovery, travel, practical supplements, and training that fits the life that you want to live, right? That's the whole point of what we're discussing here in these Former Athlete Society Q&A calls. It's to give you tools that fit your schedule, your job, and your family while still letting you chase real progress. So today, I pulled 5 questions from the Former Athlete Society thread, our direct messages that I get that I think are going to be useful for a lot of people. Now, some are tactical and some are practical and some are just a little bit about, right here, your mindset. So we'll start with some sleep. We'll go into some breathing hacks, and then we'll move in to how to actually get set up on the BridgeAthletic training library, my application that I use. We'll go into some coaching. We'll go into some training, some nutrition, all sorts of different things for us today. So I'm excited that you're here, and let's just get into it. I think we're at that point where we can just jump right into the show. I'll give you the exact things I do, why I do them, and what to try first if you're going to try to adopt any of these strategies. Also, I'm going to give you maybe one quick action, something that you can apply and use immediately after each topic, each question that we end up answering today. So I want to just jump right into it, although I am super warm in this office here. So let's go into our first question. Do you want to sleep better at night? Don't tip your mouth. How about we do this instead? Now, this one comes from Casey, and he is out of Columbus, Ohio. And Casey asks the Former Athlete Society this: Coach, do you tape your mouth at night to force nasal breathing? Now, Casey, this is a great question. I get asked about this a lot because as soon as people hear things like better sleep, they want the quickest hack, right? And I'm all for shifting from this sort of mouth breathing to nasal breathing, especially during sleep, because nasal breathing does have benefits, right? For humidifying air, filtering particles, improving your nitric oxide production, and just generally supporting things like more stable CO2, O2 exchange. But no, I don't tape my mouth shut, right? I know people who make it work. I've heard about it, I've seen it online, and I respect anybody who has maybe tried it and found some benefit. But for me, personally, it's just simply not something I'm willing to do. Now, I'll be honest, my wife probably would love it, right? Because sometimes I do snore when I slide over to more mouth breathing. But there are other options for me that feel safer, more comfortable, and more sustainable. So how about we get into those? Now, what I do use and what I do recommend is a simple, low-friction approach to training the system to breathe better at night without taping your mouth shut. Now, the product that I end up using, it's actually called Airwave, Air, W-A-A-V, and it's a small oral device. It's like a mouth guard that repositions the tongue and keeps the airway more open, right? And the benefit is twofold. First, number one, it promotes nasal breathing because it encourages proper tongue position. And second, it sort of acts and functions as a night guard for me, and it protects your teeth from grinding, something my dentist continues to always recommend to me, right? Anybody that clenches or has stress or things like that, what coach doesn't, right? That second function is really useful. So instead of putting something over your lips, Airwave is like a mouth guard. It actually sits inside the mouth. And for me, that's a lot easier to use consistently. It's also not a miracle cure, but it does nudge the system towards the right patterns. Now, beyond that, the basics are critical. We need to prioritize consistent sleep timing. So I do things like keeping my room cool and dark. I use a wind down routine where I have low stimulus activities before bed, so my autonomic nervous system can shift towards that parasympathetic mode. Now, if you want to make nasal breathing more permanent, you should add in maybe some gentle daytime practices that reinforce that nasal breathing pattern, right? So short nose-only breathing drills. So when I do my zone 2 rucks, a lot of the times I don't breathe through my mouth. I only nasal breathe when I'm rucking. It's like zone 1, zone 2 anyway, so I don't need to breathe through my mouth. And then generally I try to practice anytime I can some slow diaphragmatic breathing inhalations. Now, these are all low cost, low risk, plays that help train the habit without forcing a one-off, potentially anxiety-inducing method like mouth breathing or anything like that. So maybe give that a try. If you're thinking about, taping your mouth shut because of snoring or suspected sort of sleep apnea, listen, don't self-experiment without checking in with a clinician. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on the internet, on YouTube, or elsewhere, right? Mouth tape can be fine for some people, but for those with obstructive sleep apnea, can actually be pretty dangerous. So if you snore loudly or wake up gasping or have daytime sleepiness, just get evaluated. That's the smartest play that I can recommend for anyone. Now, if you're doing it as a behavior change to move towards nasal breathing, try the oral device first, maybe some daily practice, some inhalations through your nose during the day. And then this sort of night guard tongue positioning approach has been the sweet spot for me because it protects my teeth and it supports nasal breathing. And for me, it doesn't feel invasive. I don't feel like, I'm going to die or I get mad or anything like that with it. So quick action, right? I talked about this at the beginning of the show. I want us to have some quick takeaways. You can try it tonight. Spend 2 minutes before bed doing some slow nasal breathing drills. 4-second inhale through your nose and a 6-second exhale through your mouth. Now, if you want to check out the Airwave, right? Go ahead. I think they got their websites. I think it's airwave.com or something like that. You can type it into Google. You guys are all smart here at the Former Athlete Society. That's it, right? Small steps, big consistency. That's what I would recommend on that first question. If you're joining us thus far, a couple of different things. Number one, I want you to like, subscribe, right? Hit the subscription, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then hit the notification bell. That notification bell helps out the algorithm so much, guys. You don't understand how the analytics and the viral aspects of YouTube works, but notifications count to the subscription and the reach and the engagement and all of that. So do me a quick favor, hit all 3 of them, smash all the buttons, guys. That would certainly help me out. So let's move on. I got question number 2 of our 5 questions that we're going to tackle today on this Q&A call. The number one mistake that I see. Here's the system that I give athletes instead. Now, this one comes from Marcus, and Marcus is out of Austin, Texas. And Marcus actually DM'd me on Instagram. If you have yet, and you're like, how do I DM you on Instagram? It's right there, guys, on the screen, at Adam Ringler. You can do Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, what else? X, Facebook, right? I'm accessible. Your boy's everywhere, right? So make sure you get your questions to me. But nonetheless, Marcus did via Instagram, and he asked, Coach, I've been looking at adamringler.com and the programs that you have available through BridgeAthletic. How do I actually get started, and which one should I pick? Marcus, this is the $1 million question. Here's the deal. The BridgeAthletic platform is the backbone of how I deliver training programs, both online and in person. And because it takes away all the confusions. Right? I don't have to print out workout cards. I don't have to send PDF printouts or random spreadsheets anymore like the old days in the 90s and early 2000s. You get everything inside a polished app on your phone or your iPad, right? It's professional grade. It's beautiful. It's intuitive. The UI, UX looks amazing. That means when you log in to the app or you go into the gym, the exact session is sitting there. It's waiting for you. Sets, reps, rest times, demo videos, progress tracking, all of your history. It's all inside your pocket, inside your phone. Now, your actual question, I think, is really important. How to actually get onboarded? Well, it's simple. Head over to right here on the screen, adamringler.com. That's the main site, but adamringler.com/programs. And from there, you'll see the entire menu of all the pre-made training programs that I've created for $35 a month. You pick your lane. Do you want sports performance, right? Do you want to get faster and get stronger and get bigger and all those things, improve your sport production? All right, cool, right? Train like an athlete, right? I have programs for that. Do you just want to get strength and muscle size, right? Cool. I got programs built for guys who just want to put on size. Maybe you're more into the female transformation lane, sculpting, toning, leaning out while still getting strong, feeling independent, all those things. Once you subscribe, you'll get an invite email with your BridgeAthletic login. It'll prompt you to set up a password. You'll download the app, right? And you plug in your info. You're ready to train. You're off to the races. You are happy. You are going. We're having a great time. We're training. We're getting stronger. We're getting better, right? Now, here's the real important thing. The most important decision that you can make isn't whether you download the app. It's whether you're matching the program to what your true goal is. So a lot of people say, hey, I want to get fit. I want to get stronger, but But fit means very different things depending on who you are. If you want work capacity to run with the CrossFit crew, that's one path. If you want to show up at a wedding or a vacation looking strong and defined, that's a whole different one, right? So we got to be cognizant of actually what your goals are. If you want vertical jump or acceleration speed, you're going to go down more of the sports performance track. And the mistake that I often see is athletes picking the program that looks cool instead of the one that actually matches their actual outcome. So don't fall into that trap, right? And because I'm a coach first, and I'm not just somebody trying to sell programs, let me set the actual real expectations. Progress in the gym and with your performance and with your physique, it actually comes from sticking with the progression for 8 to 12 weeks minimum. That's how your nervous system adapts. That's how your muscles hypertrophy. That's how you can look back at the app and see your weights climb. And BridgeAthletic makes tracking automatic. The app remembers your last weights, and then it suggests progressions. Yeah, you did 40 pounds last time. Now it's going to suggest 45. Your only job is to open up the app, follow the plan, and bring consistency. So, quick action for anybody that's listening. If you're debating which program is yours, what should I do? Literally ask yourself one question. What do I want my body to do 6 months from now? If the answer is to look jacked, then grab any one of those muscle and strength programs. If it's to compete harder in my rec league or pick up basketball games, go with the performance path, right? If it's to be leaner or sculpted or confident, then hit the female transformation track. Don't overthink it. Just start. Lock into the app and let the plan carry you forward. You can find all of that, right here, adamringler.com, right there, center screen. Head over there. At the top of the page, there will be something that says programs, and you can navigate and find all of our training programs. Let's move on. We have another question. I think this one's amazing. I want to answer this. You can't out-train this mistake, and it's why your muscles aren't growing. Now, this one comes from Sarah out of Columbus, Ohio. Sarah's a Blueprint member. She's part of our community. In the Blueprint, our forever free access to behind the scenes of strength conditioning, sports science, and health and performance optimization. Adam, my training is consistent, and it feels amazing, but I don't see much change in my muscle mass. What am I missing? All right, well, thanks for being honest, number one. That's important because this is a question that so many athletes and former athletes are afraid to admit. Their workouts are clicking. They love what they're doing in the gym. Everything's going well, right? Energy is high. You're showing up, but the body composition just isn't shifting. It isn't changing. It isn't adjusting. It isn't moving. 9 times out of 10, this comes down to nutrition, right? I've said it before. I'll say it again. Training is the stimulus, but food is the building block. So if you want your body to actually add muscle, you have to be in a consistent calorie surplus with enough protein to actually support hypertrophy. So let's break that down. What does that actually mean for us? Number one, aim for roughly 1 gram per pound of body weight daily. So simply, if you weigh 150 pounds, you probably need approximately 150 grams of protein. And that's 30 to 40 grams in each meal spread across 4 meals, let's just say. Now, your calories. If you're maintaining, your body has no reason to actually add new tissue. So you need to eat above maintenance consistently, not just on good days, right? It has to be consistent. So with that said, consistency, muscles grow slowly, and you won't notice it weekly. You won't notice it maybe every other week. You'll notice it quarterly, 8 to 12 to 16 weeks down the line. So you got to be patient with yourself, number one, as well. Now, here's the part that I think most people actually miss. Most people are underestimating how much they eat, or you're thinking that you're eating healthy, but you might not be eating enough, right? Oatmeal, chicken, veggies, salads are all great. But if your totals don't cross the line into surplus territory, you'll look and you'll perform the exact same year after year. I'll also say this, protein timing and the spread of protein actually matters. So if you slam 120 grams at dinner of protein and you've had nothing else throughout the rest of the day, that's inefficient. You have to space it out. You have to give your body repeated building blocks across the entire day, especially around your training session, right? That's so important to bracket before and after your training. Now, the last piece, if you really want to know whether you're fueling right or if you're on track, even just a week inside apps like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer or what I use, Macro Factor, is key. You'll get real numbers, and that data often illuminates the truth. And often the truth is this: I thought I was eating enough, but it wasn't, right? So my coaching note back to you is this: keep training hard. You're doing great there, but get ruthless about your nutrition. Hit your protein target daily. Don't fear the surplus. It's the only way that muscle actually gets built. So give it time, track your metrics, and trust the process. Now, I want to pause right here and say a couple of different things, guys. And that is this: I was looking at our analytics. Actually, most people that watch our videos aren't actual real subscribers. They just stumbled upon the videos. They haven't really subscribed to our channel. So if that's the case, if that's you, if you're watching this right now, hit the like button, subscribe to what we're doing here at the Former Athlete Society, Adam Ringler, this channel. And lastly, hit that notification bell for me. Do it right now. It's right there. Hit the bell and get first access to when all of these videos are dropping, because quite frankly, we're dropping videos 2, 3, 4 times a week. I want you to get access to all of those videos. Now, let's move on. Should you invest in a heart rate monitor? Here's my honest take, right? This one comes from Jason, and Jason is, again, out of Ohio. We have a weird reach in the Midwest. I'm a Midwest guy, so maybe they're all tuning in. And he actually direct messaged me on X. I'm still active on X despite everything right over there. Adam, I'm thinking about buying a heart rate monitor. Is it worth it? Or should I just stick with what I got? All right, well, Jason, I don't exactly know what you have. Maybe you have nothing. I don't know. This is a great question, right? I actually wore a chest strap heart rate monitor through Garmin, the Garmin Tri heart rate monitor system with my Garmin Phoenix. Did that for about 7 years. And honestly, I loved it. The accuracy was super solid. I tracked everything, calories, heart rate zones. But here's the downside. I got so dependent on bringing that strap everywhere I went. I almost didn't want to even train if I forgot the strap. I felt like the workout didn't count unless I actually had the data from the workout. And that's when I realized I was probably focusing more on the numbers than the training itself. So today, I just keep it so simple. I wear an Apple Watch and I use the wrist-based heart rate monitor and the heart rate that it gives me. And I don't sweat the minor inaccuracies. Is it as perfect as a chest strap? No. But does it get close enough for 99% of us who just want to get stronger, leaner, and healthier? Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty much all you need, right? Now, if you're training for the Tour de France or you need medical level accuracy, then yeah, invest in the strap, right? The heart rate strap. But for the average person, or even most former athletes who just want to, stay in shape and look good, the Apple Watch or a similar wrist-based tracker, it does the job. So, Jason, my advice is this: don't let the pursuit of perfect data become an obstacle to consistent training. Use the tools that make life easier, not the ones that make you feel like you're chained to a number or having to carry a second or tertiary device around with you at all times. I'm going to pause right here. A couple different things real quick. You are clearly watching this on YouTube. And if you are, thank you, right? You're a part of what we're doing. And I'm glad that you got to join us here at YouTube. You can level up what you're doing here in multiple different ways. And I've shared this before, but if you were to head over to adamringler.com, right here on the center screen of our YouTube live that we're doing here, you can join forever free the blueprint, right? And the blueprint is just the behind the scenes. It's literally giving you the blueprints, how to optimize your performance, your life, and everything. And it's free. You don't have to submit a single cent towards it, just your email. Now, if you want more than the blueprint and you want to go into the master plans and the frameworks and you want to dive deep into it, I do have a premium level subscription, the master plan, and that comes at a cost, right? And it's at the website. You can check it out. Again, adamringler.com, super easy to do it. Now, if you want to go even deeper, right? I have the Former Athlete Society. And the Former Athlete Society is this. We're recording this for the Former Athlete Society right now. And it's for former college athletes that want to learn everything that they need to learn to leverage their best lifestyle, right? To reclaim their glory days now that they've exhausted their eligibility. Head over to adamringler.com. You can sign up for the Former Athlete Society. You get one-on-one access to these calls, our accountability calls, our Q&As that we do privately just for our Former Athlete Society. There's complimentary free training programs included in that level, delivered through BridgeAthletic, like I talked about already. There's master classes I put on. There's a whole host of information you can find out about the Former Athlete Society at the website. So head over there, check that out. Let's move on to our last Q&A question today, and it's all about supplements. Now, do you want fewer injuries as you start to get older? Start here. This one comes from Rachel, and Rachel's out of Nashville, and she's part of our Former Athlete Society as well. So Rachel asks, Coach, outside of creatine and multivitamins, what supplement do you recommend for an aging athlete like me? I don't know what sport you played, Rachel, but I love this question because it is one that probably doesn't get asked enough. We always hear about creatine. I talked to the team about creatine yesterday. I've done so many different podcasts and shows on creatine. It's the most well-researched supplement out there in existence, right? And we hear about multivitamins and how important that is, but rarely do people bring up the bigger picture of aging and long-term joint and tendon health. So here's my honest answer. I'm a big fan of collagen supplementation, especially as athletes get older and they move into their 30s and their 40s and beyond. Why? Well, it's because collagen is one of those things that we naturally lose as we age. And it just so happens that our tendons and our ligaments and our connective tissues rely so heavily on it. So think about it. How many people do you know in their 30s or 40s who maybe have had a ruptured Achilles? Do you watch the NBA? Do you watch the NFL? Right? Maybe they've torn something else, an ACL, an MCL, something like that. It's becoming almost so normal. Now, am I saying that collagen supplementation magically prevents injuries? No. Smart training, progressive loading, good recovery habits, solid programming are still the foundation. But adding some collagen, especially when it's paired with vitamin C, has real efficacy in supporting tendon health. Now, for me, I personally love Bubs Naturals collagen. It's a great company. Again, I'm not sponsored. There's no affiliate sales, anything like that. Great company, great story. And honestly, it mixes super clean. I don't even taste it, right? I can add it in almost anything, like coffee, fruit juices, Gatorades, Crystal Light, etc., right? I just have respect for that quality product. Now, Rachel, if I had to give one clear answer beyond creatine and multivitamins and things like that, collagen is probably my go-to recommendation for former athletes who just want to keep training and moving and competing at a high level as they age. Where are we at in this? 25-ish minutes, something like that. I think it's probably time for us. Let's wrap all this up. Let's bring it to the end of today's Q&A session. We got music going on in the background. Hopefully I can edit some of this out. We've covered a lot of ground today. And I hope you've walked away with something maybe practical, something that you can use. And just to recap everything, let's wrap it up. We talked about, what did we talk about? Mouth taping and the airwave and sleep performance and why, I don't end up taping my mouth. Number one, I don't want to die, but I use the airwave to actually help with protect my teeth as well, right? From there, we talked about how to get onboarded with the BridgeAthletic training programs available over right here at adamringler.com, right? And why they are built for athletes and former athletes who still want the structure and accountability and results of what they had probably back in their strength and conditioning days. We talked and shifted gears into why training strength gains don't always show up as visible muscle mass right away. Broke down the role of protein and calorie surplus and realistic timelines, right? We talked about the heart rate monitors and a chest strap versus a watch-based system and why good enough is actually good enough for 99% of us who just want to train hard and look good. And then finally, we wrapped up with an awesome question about supplements that go beyond just creatine and multivitamin. I shared my thoughts on collagen and vitamin C as a smart combo for aging athletes who just want to protect their tendons and connective tissues so they can keep performing at a high level, right? So whether you're here and you're watching this live right there, where am I at with my hands? Right here on YouTube, thank you for being a part of our Former Athlete Society, for showing up and for staying curious about how to keep your mind, how to keep your body, and how to keep your lifestyle super sharp. Now, if today's conversation sparked something for you, right here, I want you to drop your takeaways in the comments, right? But more importantly, I want you to share this video with a teammate, an old teammate, a training partner, a family member, a friend, or somebody who just might benefit from some of this material. And as always, keep pushing forward because you know what, guys? We're all in this together. We're all athletes aging for life. Thanks again for tuning in. I will see all of you guys next week. Stay strong, stay consistent, and let's keep building together.